Now, we should declare to people watching and listening to this, you are in the room with three Swifties.
Obviously, she is in this lovely, wholesome, gorgeous relationship.
She's nesting, guys.
She's nesting.
That's giving icon.
Honestly, I feel like we know our year through TV shows, don't we?
do. She is never going to take that beef off the barbecue.
Dever works hard, but his manager clearly works harder. Like, how?
This is Showbiz Fix, where the Sun Showbiz team gives you the inside track on our biggest celebrity scoops and lay out the lowdown on everything you're loving this week. Today, we are obviously going to be talking about Ms. Taylor Allison Swift, but there's also the matter of TV's biggest show, Strictly Come Dancing, to discuss. Plus, we've got our dream guest on the podcast, JoJo Siwa. Crowd goes wild.
Queen.
Now, guys, I was thinking about Taylor Swift songs that I could do a really bad pun at the beginning of Showbiz Fix, and I decided to go with, are you ready for it? Dun, dun, dun.
Love it.
Amazing news. So
Not the
this
most
week,
original, but like we are ready for it. So
when am I ever original? So Taylor Swift, she's confirmed the release of her 12th album on a very loved up podcast edition with boyfriend Travis Kelce and brother Jason this week. And the world has gone wild for it, yeah. But ahead of this, there was a lot of speculation, wasn't there? As is always the way, the whispers come out. So, as is always the way with Tay-Tay, the first things that come out are the Easter eggs.
Love a Taylor Swift Easter egg. I feel like her music is amazing. The Easter eggs are just as good, because just when you think something couldn't be so ridiculous as an Easter egg, it is. And I feel like you can just keep going with them. So these are the ones that have come out on the TikTok, the social media. Everyone's talking about these. So firstly, the Orange Door. We all went to the Eras Tour last year. The final date of the Eras Tour, she left through the Orange Door, right?
And that's of relevance
because that is the colour of the new album, orange.
Right.
So everything is all orange. The second one, which everyone is loving and I think is amazing, the Eras Tour stage, when you look at it from a bird's eye view, it's a key. And the album cover had the lock. That's right, isn't it, Jack? The lock.
Yeah, that's right. It was locked for a bit, and the key obviously opens the lock. So
second one, amazing.
Yeah.
Third one, there's a video that she put on. She was in Miami and she's walking into the empty stadium, and there's a little sign, obviously, where the sort of barriers are, and it said A12. August 12th is when she announced it. The clock of the Eras Tour, it always started at 2.24. She announced her album on the 224th day of the year.
honestly, her mind.
That works.
That one feels like a stretch.
I mean, everything's deliberate with Taylor, though. Nothing's just done off, and everything. When you look back at her outfits, so much orange. I mean, you could keep going with Taylor Swift Easter eggs, couldn't you, really?
She is the Easter Bunny. We didn't know
the
we
Easter
deserved.
I've gone down many a rabbit hole for like hours. Like,
Yeah.
I love an Easter egg as well.
Yeah.
And some are just ridiculous, but like I will still watch that TikTok and that video and see, is it really right? Like,
I always think some feel like a stretch and like we're post-rationalising things. But then we do know that Taylor's said before, sometimes she plants these clues as much as 3 years in advance, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So believe it. But on the podcast, obviously, I feel like this is the most Taylor has talked ever.
yeah, do you know what? So I stayed up to watch it because it dropped at midnight UK time. So I was there I wasn't sure how long it was going to be. It was 2 hours. And I always thought I had a short attention span, but Taylor's fixed that because like absolutely fine. Like I was there loving it. And
Headlines, what are we learning from this then?
I mean, do you know what? She's just quite normal. And I know she's always pretended that or said that, but you're never quite sure with any star, are they really? Or are they like, how can she be? She's huge. But she was saying since she's finished the tour, she likes sewing, baking, sourdough, cinnamon buns. And like, she wasn't just saying it for effect. There's a good, maybe a little bit too long, Taylor. But
I would say an hour was dedicated to bread.
Talking about bread.
Wholesome era.
Like
Overload of bread content.
Exactly, good pun. Love a
No,
pun.
I loved that section. Didn't she say as well she's now like moved into exotic flavours of bread like lemon and blueberry?
Yeah.
Our
And
wholesome queen.
And she bakes it and then she sends them to her friends. And also, like, do you know what? Like us, she's a bit of us. She likes a pun, so she then writes a pun on the bag that then gets sent to.
Yeah.
I know Selena Gomez. She got some. It's a life story. So there's quite a lot. I think, but so that was great, and she was just also her and Travis. I've always thought it was real. I never thought it was a plant, just because she doesn't need to. Look, like there's a lot of things that Taylor can do and doesn't need to do. Faking a boyfriend isn't one of them. But people thought it might be fake. The whole podcast, I mean, get yourself a boyfriend that looks at you like Travis looks at Taylor. Like, they're just,
adorable.
They're so in love. They're quite clearly the real deal. Like, never felt more single. But it was really nice to see.
Yeah. So, and she also opened up about the real story of how they met, didn't she? What did she say about that?
Yeah. So we've heard from Travis a little bit before. And Taylor, she admits that she thought he was crazy by getting on the podcast and declaring his love for her. I mean,
So this was when he basically said that he was going to make her a friendship bracelet. Stage left.
I've got my friendship bracelets on, which is actually orange coded as well. So maybe that was an Easter egg.
An Easter egg though.
Because
right there.
Taylor, you got that in a Taylor PR package, didn't you?
So this gold one, Tortured Poets, yeah. So Taylor, I mean, queen of like smooziness,
Yeah.
sent me a PR package for when the album dropped.
Yeah.
And in it was this. So technically Taylor bought me that. So thanks, Taylor.
Yeah.
So Travis was going to he said on the podcast that he was going to make Taylor a bracelet with his phone number on.
Yeah.
And that was his big come and get me Taylor.
And she never got it. She admits that, like, she's never seen that, even to this day, she's never seen those friendship bracelets. And ironically, like, well, not ironically, but he never even contacted her management. Like, he just thought he could swan down to her dressing room because he knows the woman that works on the lifts. And, like, arrogant, but I also love the fact that somewhere on CCTV, there's Travis trying to get down in a lift to Taylor's dressing room and they're having none of it and he gets turned away. Obviously, he's huge in his own right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows who he is in the sporting world. Like,
Yeah.
and he got said no. But
So we didn't know that, did we?
we didn't know that, no. It's all this stuff that she normally speaks through her songs, as we all know. And there's also a hell of a lot to unpacking, like Tortured Poets, there's an awful lot. But this is the first time that I was talking to someone earlier actually, and Taylor's never really spoken in depth about anything. Like, the initial reaction, I think her team are really happy with it. Like, I know there's mood music will she do more? Obviously, she likes to keep people guessing. So
There was that tease that she might be doing Call My Daddy. Call me daddy. Call her daddy.
Call her dad.
Call her daddy.
Call my dad. Call my.
But-
Call her daddy.
So it's hard to, again, good old Easter eggs. Were they just cashing in? Because I feel like
Yeah.
the speed that every single brand has suddenly gone on Instagram and released some sort of
Orange.
orange meme, like, you know,
Yeah.
that's giving icon.
Oh, we're missing out, guys. None
I
of us are wearing
know.
orange.
No
I
one.
know.
Yeah.
What I just going back to what you said there, Jack, about sort of there were showmans. People even said they had the same manager and all kinds of things.
Just
Didn't
ridiculous,
they?
isn't it?
The way that she speaks about that man, for me, when she said he is like a human exclamation mark. So she says he walks in a room and he just lights it up. And at one point there was this little aside where she said, "You're so handsome."
Yeah, and do you know what? When they first teased the podcast, a few people thought this is going to be really cringe, and I mean, I'm a Swiftie, so I was going to bat for it till I die. But I was a bit like, oh, is it going to be? But it wasn't. Like, it could have gone down the route of being like, this is really cringe, me and my boyfriend, like, look at us. And it's not. And like, she was talking about her masters at one point, and she
Yes.
was
So what
welling
did she
up.
say about her
Well,
masters?
she was welling up, and I thought it was really sweet. Obviously, she did that big letter where she announced that she'd got her masters back, but it's the first time we've seen her on camera or even just heard her voice talking about it. And she revealed that she'd been actually saving to buy her masters since she was a teenager.
Wow.
So when she signed her first contract, she knew that she'd given away her rights to the music, but she always wanted to find a way back. Then obviously it all went wrong with Scooter. We don't want to say his name. And then she was working. I mean, the Eras tour essentially paid for the masters. And she was saying how Shamrock, who owned them, they were always above board, but rather than her sending in some big lawyers or management or whatever, she sent her mum and her brother. Now, yeah, they do work for her. Mum is high up in the game, but like, that sort of sums up. She wanted to really get across to them that it's not a business deal. She doesn't really care about the return. Like, these are her diaries that she wrote. This is her life. And she put it really well, actually, that she said that if she hadn't have got them back, eventually someone's child would have owned the rights to all of her music, essentially all of her life, her memories. And why should they? Like, it's her life, it's her work, it's her music, it's her story.
Yeah.
Some random shouldn't.
Yeah, whatever anyone thinks of Taylor Swift, I think the way that she's conducted this whole, reclaiming her past, her work, all of that is just inspirational, isn't it, in a way?
It is. I mean, the music industry hate her a bit, like, because record labels, no one had ever done it before. But since everyone told her not to, she ignored them, fair play. It was a success. And now other artists are aware of owning their masters. And, like, her contract didn't stop her from re-recording. I know a lot of the labels now are trying to add in clauses so you can't re-record.
Oh, tea.
Because they are losing millions, but at the same time, they're making millions. So, like, it's just putting the power to the artist, which I think the balance is important. And yeah.
So she also revealed some sad news about her dad.
Oh yeah, so like literally in the middle of all of this madness, her dad was in hospital. He'd gone for like a general health MOT. They thought he was fine. Did some extra tests. I guess she probably bought the bonus package at Taylor Swift, innit? And the extra test discovered that he needed heart surgery. So when he had the surgery the next day, they discovered there was 5 blockages, and like any sort of dad, it was quite cute. He told her, like, "You're busy, don't worry about me." Obviously, she was there when he woke up. And her and her brother took turns in the ICU to, help him recover and look after him, which I think, again, it's making him more human, because certainly last summer, she was like godly, right? Like, she's just this next level, we've said with like brands following her, like, it's making her more relatable.
I think the thing that always strikes me about Taylor Swift is, now we should declare to people watching and listening to this, you are in the room with 3 Swifties. Jack's a super Swiftie, as you probably gathered. Emily's a Swiftie, and I'm very much an aging Swiftie. Was there from the off, so this is biased. But I think what has always struck everyone is that, does this girl ever have any time off? Now, she finished the Eras tour in December, and clearly was pretty much straight on with this.
The new album. She was working on the album during the tour.
So apart from looking after her dad, Emily, does this gal ever have a rest?
That's the thing. I feel like, obviously, the Eras tour, we're still talking about it, and it hasn't, it feels like it's just happened because it's all still in our sort of minds. You're like, oh, what a summer that was. Obviously, we all went, amazing. And now it's like she's given us this other gift of the album. Obviously, dealing with her dad and her family, that's such a huge thing to have on her shoulders. And she's got a track, hasn't she, called Eldest Daughter? Is that on the new album, which she's revealed? And there's a whole thing as well on TikTok about, being the eldest daughter and how that's such a difference to being the youngest or the middle child. And it's such a pressure, I think. And hopefully in that new album, she'll talk about, as you say, open up a bit about family in a way that we've never really seen Taylor do before.
Yeah, there's a track called Father Figure, which, it's the same song as the George Michael title. The fans are already going wild on that, but we'll see what happens. But
what else do we know about the album then? So we've got the track listing now, haven't we, in artwork?
Yes. What I really love, I saw someone post about it. It's called is it The Life of a Showgirl?
Yeah.
The Life of a Showgirl. When you type that into Spotify, Life of Pablo is the name of Kanye's album. So as soon as you put Life of a Showgirl in, that's always going to rank above it, obviously alphabetically. So just those clever...
Because it's A, not P.
Life of a Showgirl, Life of Pablo. So when you type those into Spotify, that's always going to appear first.
She is never going to take that beef off the barbecue.
Well, it's still cooking.
She shouldn't. Like, she almost lost her career. Like, I think most people would have given up. And I think her stubbornness, like, it's a gift.
We love that from her.
We love that.
Right, what else do we know about this album then? Give me the stats on this.
So basically, it's with Max Martin and Shellback, who did some of her biggest pop songs. So it's a pop album. So Tortured Poets was very sad, and obviously the breakup. And
Angry.
I don't think, obviously it was never planned. It was an album she had to make because they had her relationship ended.
Bad man.
Bad man. But it's 12 songs, and she's told us helpfully in the podcast, because it stops ridiculous Easter eggs, that there's not any special extra songs. This is it. The 12 songs are the 12 songs that she wanted. She wanted to do, she's setting the bar high. She's saying the 12 songs are like, they're all on there for a reason. She has written so many songs, but these are the best of the best. She said she wanted to make an album she was as proud of as she was the Eras tour.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, it's giving pressure.
That is an incredible feat.
Guys, do you think this might be Taylor's kind of last album.
No.
Don't say that.
No, she'll be going till the end. Like, I think she's clearly got that hunger and drive for success. And I think she needs to write everything down. It's her life, isn't it?
I wonder whether it's almost like her and Travis are obviously incredibly serious. She's a girl. She's going to be thinking, presumably, marriage, babies, that kind of thing. Maybe this is her kind of album that I'm incredibly proud of. Little pause.
I mean,
for life.
there might be a pause, but there's no way this is the last album.
No.
Also, 13 is her favourite number. She's not going to stop before TS13.
Course.
Like,
Yes.
the plans for that must be off the chart, because you can't have a career where you say how much you love number 13
Yeah.
and then stop before album 13. Album 13 is going to be like...
Maybe that is the biggest ruse of all, that there's going to be no 13.
But I do think, obviously, she is in this lovely, wholesome, gorgeous relationship.
She's nesting, guys.
She's nesting, but Jack, obviously, your favourite album is Tortured Poets Department.
Yeah, it's just relatable.
Red.
Red.
We do love that, like, I don't know.
We love Sad Taylor.
woman scorned,
Yeah.
sad Taylor.
Don't get me wrong, like, some of the songs on 1989, incredible. Like, even that aren't singles, adore them. But I think lyrically, I'm not sure how she'll ever top Tortured Poets, because it's so...
You're such
Yeah,
a tortured
yeah.
poet.
It's so...
You're a tortured journalist, you are, Jack.
Yeah, it's just so
Jack,
raw.
you said something to me earlier which I wanted to pick up on, which is how you think that she was able to pull off recording this album in the middle of everything.
Yeah, so like, it's been reported, that she's had a lot of stalkers in the past, and I know the team are always very aware of don't say where she is and whatever. But some fans, or actually, it's like Eco Warriors to be fair, had been following her plane, so they've got the tail number and they were following her around the world, which caused all sorts of issues. But no one, as in like none of it, has picked up that she was literally flying back and forth after most shows to Sweden to write and record, popping back to wherever
Is
she was.
that where Max lives?
Yeah, so the whole album was recorded in Sweden with Max and Shellbeck, and no one knew she was flying there. And I just think she's probably got a second plane, or she's got something, because we were all watching that main plane. There's no way. I mean, do you know what? Like, she should be a spy.
I know, hats off to her. I was also going to say the Sabrina Carpenter track collab.
She almost forgot, like, that would be huge for any other artist.
Amazing.
It's still huge, but like, yeah.
We've seen,
by the way.
obviously, since Sabrina supported her on tour, Sabrina's popularity has skyrocketed as well. So this is just going to be pop, girly. They're all going to go crazy for this, aren't they?
Yeah, and rumours say there is a second Taylor and Sabrina collab, which may be on Sabrina's album.
Well, give
Unable
to
to
receive.
confirm or deny,
Yeah,
but do you know
of
what?
course.
Probably is true.
Yeah.
I just love it. I feel like we could spend hours more talking about this as,
Deep
Swifties. We were saying earlier, weren't we, there'll never be a summer like the Eras Tour summer. Maybe there will.
It was a moment.
Do you know what I would love Taylor to do? And this might fit in with, Mama Taylor era, is almost like a residency. Vegas probably not right, but maybe like a Nashville residency.
I'd love that.
And people would go, like you'd go, wouldn't you?
I want like a theatre tour, like Madonna did Madam X, and they were all like London Palladium, much smaller venues. That, I feel for this would be perfect, because once you've done big stadiums, where do you go from that? Well, you've got Showgirl themed,
Yeah.
theatre themed.
Oh my God, guys, can you imagine? Like, it was hard enough getting tickets for the Eras Tour in huge stadiums.
Don't.
Can you imagine getting for a little theatre? You would be having to sell your son.
Yeah,
We haven't even got them, but
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Steal
have my
some-
firstborn.
Yeah. Blimey O'Reilly. Well, could be here forever. But there is another big show in town that we need to talk about, which is Strictly Come Dancing. So I always think that it's madness that we're here. It's summer. We're in our summer dresses, and Strictly's Christmas. Why are we talking about Strictly?
Honestly, I feel like we know our year through TV shows,
We
don't we?
do.
It's like nearly Strictly season and then it's Christmas. I'm so excited, and I love the fact that we've got people like Vicky Patterson, Danny Dyer. It's just going to be glam, which I think Strictly, obviously it's had its controversies. That's what it is all about. We love seeing the outfits and the glitter and everything like that. So I'm really excited to see, the full lineup now, because then you can really piece together, who's going to be top three, who's going to, be loved by the Facebook mums.
Yeah. What we noticed yesterday, and we had a story in the paper on, is there's some real big hitters in terms of social media following already, which is a surefire route to success on Strictly, right? If you've got a ready-made fan base from the off. So Danny Dyer's got millions. George Clark, sadly not amazing spaces. Garden, George Clark.
Bless him. He must get, I saw on his Twitter actually, he is so fed up with being, the wrong George Clark. But interestingly, he's managed by Joe Sugg.
This is the real George Clark.
The real George Clark.
YouTuber.
Not the YouTuber who's on Strictly.
Right.
His management is Joe Sugg. Joe Sugg's company.
Oh.
Joe Sugg, Diane Buswell.
It's giving Fix. Like, are they
Nepo.
idiots? Why have they done, like, no offense, George, I don't know who you are, but why? It's like when X Factor would scout some singer that had already been on a certain show. So you're now putting on a contestant who's managed by a former contestant. Oh, and his partner just happens to be a pro dancer on the show.
It's convenient.
Like, that's an absolute.
Well, do you know, I think, to be honest,
Good luck
he's
to
going to
him.
be totally fine because he's got 2 million followers on TikTok. So he's already ahead of the pack in terms of that.
What happened? Hang on to interrupt, but like, what happened to this no reality star ban? I feel like they would like
that. I think that's long gone now because I think people realise, TV people realise, Instagram and mainstream TV.
times are changing. Yeah.
Times are changing, and they're obviously having to bring in another audience. So yeah,
I think some audience.
yeah.
Guys, I've got a controversial opinion about the Strictly lineup.
You're not a fan.
I'm underwhelmed.
But I think that always happens with Strictly. We do say this every year, and it's not like I'm a Celeb. There's not that huge controversial figure that we have every year with I'm a Celeb. Strictly, they like to keep it on the dancing, don't they?
I just think when I'm a Celeb has got Colleen Rooney.
Yeah.
When Celebrity Big Brother had Mickey Rourke
Yeah.
and JoJo Siwa. Who have we got? So let's just quickly rattle through who we know so far. Now, we should say we're not at the point where the full lineup is confirmed and revealed, but we've got a gladiator, former footballer Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, George Clark, rugby boy Chris Robshaw, drag artist Lavoie, Tom Skinner, we'll come on to him, Danny Dyer, Alex Kingston, ER, Doctor Who, Barvinder Sapal from EastEnders, Ellie Goldstein, amazing model, and Vicky Patterson. And they're all household names, right? People know them. They have pockets of fan bases. You can see how they tick the boxes of Strictly.
Household name is pushing it, but they've all got pockets of fan bases.
Yeah, they've all got fan bases. None of those are screaming big name. None of those are screaming, oh my God, I can't believe you got those. Like, do you remember in The Office when toot my horn, but when we heard that Mickey Rourke was doing Celebrity Big Brother, we were all absolutely gobsmacked about it. None of that's happening here. Now, is this because Strictly is maybe more about the journey than the name?
I find it really interesting because I think if you talk to a lot of stars, they often say, oh, my goal is Strictly. Like, I can think of many who are like decent names and they're like, I want to go on Strictly because it's seen as like it was seen as a family show. But I also have spoken to a few PRs and managers and they're like, not this year or like not at the moment because there's too much scandal involved in it.
Controv.
And they don't want, it was this real look. Big Brother, bit messy, have a laugh on there. Jungle, again, a bit more serious, but Strictly was always like the top. I don't watch it. I don't get it myself, but it was always seen as the top goal to strive to. But I think a lot of managers, well, they've told me that they just don't want to put their client on a show which is, there's the drug scandal, there's bullying scandals, as much as like they downplay it, the Strictly curse is clearly real. Like couples drop left, right, and centre.
I think that what was really telling is last year when we'd had Giovanni and Graziano scandals, the round tables that we go to at the beginning of Strictly to speak to the new cast, every single interview was overshadowed with what are the chaperones going to be like? As a woman, were you worried about signing up for Strictly? So I completely understand why an agent would think, I don't want my client involved in that, which is interesting because, so for example, Vicky Patterson, who I've interviewed this year recently.
Oh, I love Vicky.
Yeah, Vicky's a fab girl. And she has done some really strong, brave work in the kind of women's issues. Do you remember she did that really bold, actually quite she had a real backlash to it, recording her own AI fake porn sex tape to explore what that's like. And I'll be interested to see how she copes with this kind of situation on Strictly, because there is this history of women struggling on the show, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think this series has to work. Look, we had the series with Giovanni Graziano. Last year, it was supposed to be, this is the saving grace. This is the cohort which is going to bring Strictly back. Win Evans scandal. Jamie Borthwick. Is this going to be, a third time lucky, or is it going to, follow that pattern? And I think what Strictly, as we said with the lineup, I feel like they have to go for people that aren't Marmite characters, because they sort of want people to just fit in with the status quo, just blend in, do the dancing, get the votes from the mums at home. If you're going to have these big controversial figures on, I think they just think, God, that must asking for trouble.
But that's why Tom Skinner threw us all for six this morning, because already there is quite the backlash on him online, because people are thinking, why have you booked this guy? So we'll see what he brings to the table. Certainly, we know he's been touting himself, and his management have, for almost every single show going since he was on The Apprentice. So we'll see how that pans out.
I can't believe he's got it.
Dever
works hard, but his manager clearly works harder. How?
Yeah, Strictly is still, as you said, a lot of managers at the moment are saying not now, but it is sort of that, as they say, the jewel in the crown for the BBC.
Yeah.
It's seen as that sort of classy, reality show, I suppose, isn't it?
Moving on this week, I don't know whether you saw my story about Harry Clark. So speaking of classy reality shows that people want to do, The Traitors. So everyone loved Harry when he was on The Traitors. He won, obviously, and people expected big things of him. And that hasn't necessarily panned out how people thought. So he's done, it feels like sort of anything and everything. He's done The Pilgrimage. He's on SAS Who Dares Wins, which he was kicked off this week for cheating. So basically, I know the irony.
Ultimate traitor.
Yeah. He was told to do 20 burpees, then pull this switch. He did 10 and pulled the switch. And, on SAS Who Dares Wins, that kind of behaviour does not go.
There's a camera there, mate.
But it's sort of all painting up this sort of worrying picture about Harry, because he was really angry about this happening and really annoyed that they'd done this to him. And separately this week, I heard that he actually was involved in a brawl at the Brits. So this has all been kept really quiet by him and his team, because obviously that's not a good look for this kind of thing to be happening. So he's out at the Brits. He clashes with this TikToker called Mo Osman. If you're not familiar with his work, he goes by the name of Helicreps online. He does fashion, trainers, that kind of thing. They clashed, and basically Harry and him had a scuffle. People pulled them apart and all that kind of thing. And it's just a bit worrying that these people are put on these reality shows like The Traitors, for example, and then become a famous person and go on the showbiz circuit. And it's worrying of whether they can cope with that. And I think this is something that more and more we're seeing about these celebrities that get famous for one thing, but then are thrown into a different spotlight and struggle, which is what it looks a bit like might be the case with Harry.
Yeah, and he's been on I watched Pilgrimage actually, and I think on that series he came across really well, and it was clear he's sort of becoming that BBC sort of safe figure, I suppose. He was becoming that boy done good on The Traitors, and now he can go on to these more serious shows. Obviously, since your story, it makes you realise he is also very young still, isn't he?
Yeah.
And it's still all very new. It's this big, shiny TV world that a lot of people just aren't ready for.
Yeah. And he's now on Radio 2 delivering their Pause for Thought, which is their...
Fair to him.
Yeah.
It's very, it's
very grown up.
Very
stuff.
grown up. And I worry a bit that he's being pushed into this sort of, like you say, golden boy. And it's okay if he's not that. He was in the army. That's very different.
I was going to say, army's quite rough and... I mean, clearly, I've never been in the army, but, it's quite rough and ready. And I think, I mean, the Brits is obviously famously boozy. No idea if they drank or not. But, it's one of those sort of the ultimate showbizy event. So I can see how sort of things can escalate there. Because everyone's just, trying to have a good time. And, often it's really loud, so you can't hear people. I've got no idea what the argument was about.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've never had a fight. But, I've certainly... got the wrong end of the stick at times.
No, but crucially, you're not being positioned as this golden boy, are you?
I'm not, no.
You're not our golden boy.
That's
Speaking, but what I wanted to have to talk to you about, though, in terms of music this week, is our fave, the Ibiza Final Boss, is launching a campaign to hit #1. He's putting his money where his mouth is, and he's recorded a song.
Do you
Have
know
you
what?
heard it?
But I'm here for this. I suppose guess strike with the iron's hot, but I'd like that for Christmas #1. I'm over that lad baby that releases sausage rolls and stuff.
Yeah, no
Take
more.
it back to the days of like Mr. Blobby. Like I don't want Ed Sheeran to be #1. Again, don't really want Taylor either. Like I want like
Final Boss.
a silly UK #1.
Yeah.
Ibiza Final Christmas in Ibiza, something like that.
I
Do you know what I
love
mean?
that.
I don't even care if AI writes it. Like part of the gimmick is like a bit messy, mate. But like is also we're all a bit messy at times.
Yeah.
And
I just love
lad.
that from him.
I mean, it's peak. It's peak silly season when that is the top of the news websites, isn't it? Ibiza Final Boss, and the amount of times people are sending me the memes. Even like big companies are like capitalizing on him as well.
Yeah.
And as you say, like strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
Why not?
And do you know what? We were chatting with his manager the other day because we've done all sorts of bits to support him. And he's coping with it really well. And he's loving it. And he's like, yeah, let's just do anything and everything. I'm up for it. He's loving it. So
he was on a private jet the other day.
PJ, baby.
Absolutely.
Oh,
His best life.
Not living their best life in Ibiza. Andy Carroll and Lou Teasdale. What's going on there? They split up.
So we were at Glastonbury, and when we were there, obviously we saw them really loved up. Glastonbury's this year just gone. It was the last time before the fallow year. So everyone was really going all out. Outfits, it was Glastonbury's now a way to show off your new relationship, that sort of thing. They were really loved up. And then the last day came and it was a little bit like, well, where's Lou? If you're going to do Glastonbury as a couple, you're in there for the long haul, right? So maybe that was, are the cracks starting to show in their relationship? If you're doing Glastonbury together, you're doing it together. You're not going home on day 2, for instance. So perhaps there's things they still need to sort of work out. But, obviously I've seen Lou's put on a post today saying, Andy, all my friends love Andy. There's nothing to do with, my friends hating him. So I think we're going to see a lot more of this and their sort of public breakup.
Ooh,
it's like a breakup when all the pictures are deleted, and it's like a modern day sort of breakup, isn't it? In that sort of social media world.
We've all done it.
We've all done it.
It's better to archive rather than delete because they have to change your mind.
Here's the thing, guys. As an old gal, never just make it public. Just let people work it out from your Instagram.
Yeah.
So we've left this till last, I feel, but it's actually the thing which I'm most excited about talking about. Jack, you have chatted to JoJo Siwa this week.
Yeah.
Ah!
If you can guess on my podcast.
Yeah.
Amazing.
JoJo Siwa. Queen.
So you're chatting to her, you've been chatting to her about all her music stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So she's just come back from holiday with Chris. She flew over. Do you know what her airmails must be? I actually asked her that, like, what is going on with those airmails? Because you must have some great
gold
awards. Yeah, definitely. So she's got off the tour. It's coming out later this year, and it's up and down the country as well. She's a few shows in London, which are really quite small and sort of testing the water after Big Brother, really. Because music, obviously, she's a dancer and a singer. Like, I know she's done reality TV, but like music is her first love. So. Yeah, it's all about sort of like new music, like if there's a new album, like what she's going to do on the tour. So yeah, like she was great. Like she was just really funny, normal. Do you know what I mean? Like Big Brother. I think seeing her on Big Brother, you can't really hide yourself.
Shall we show everyone a little clip of your chat?
Yeah, go on then. Do you look at the comments?
Yeah, I honestly, I try not to, especially when it's like a wave of hate. I try to just like ignore the comments. But then what happens is people start to make videos, and then the videos come up on your For You page, and then that's when it gets really brutal. But yeah, the comments. Okay, I got actually a cute story for you. It's a good story. So I get a lot of bad comments, right? And people say whatever they want to say. And this was when I was just promoting Raspy. And obviously a lot of people had things to say about me doing Betty Davis, which is why I did Raspy. And so I had finally, I got to a point where I was like, enough, like I've had enough. So I started to reply to comments, and Christopher was with me, and I was like, look, babe, like I'm replying to people today. And he was like, why? He was like, this isn't you. And I was like, no, I know it's not, but, and he was like, let me see what you said. And I look over and he's like, it's just not you, babe. This isn't how you are. And I was like, I know. And I was like, but I was just fed up with it. And I just see him start to delete my responses because he was like, it's not you. And then he goes, I've deleted them, but I left one because it was funny. And I was like, what? And I had responded to somebody because they were like, oh, Betty Davis is rolling over in her grave again. And I was like, sorry, I just had to get her back facing the right way. And so that was the comment that he left. The rest of them, though, was just people being mean and me replying, thank you, okay, all good. Why are you on my page then? Like, just stuff like that, being petty. I honestly, give me 2 more hours of sleep and I would be thrilled right now. I think that's the only thing that would make me happier. I think, no, I'm very happy. I'm at a lovely place in life. I'm very grateful right now for life. I'm very, very happy.
Oh, Jack, I'm obsessed with it. What was she like as a person?
She was lovely. Like, I've had some, do you know what, actually? I had a TikTok star who, nameless, and she came in with a team of 6, I think it was. JoJo, a PR, and her mum. Like, really low key. Like, she didn't ask for like a car. She didn't ask for like hair and makeup. She does it herself. Like, I guess she was getting ready since she's been a kid, right? So she's used to it. But I think that's really nice, really, and that she's not above her station.
And she has got 50 million followers or whatever it is.
Yeah, and her fans, like, so before I did the chat, I went on TikTok. I was looking at sort of what fans want to hear, and I messaged a few. I think some of them thought I was faking it. I didn't tell them where or when she was going to be, but I was like, oh, what do you want to know? So I was like, got some questions, because often I find that we sort of live in a bubble a bit. Like, we like to think that we sort of know what fans want, but look, I like JoJo. I ain't a super fan, so like I thought, you know what? Send a DM, see what they want. And to be fair, props from me, actually. I'd got quite a lot of those questions ready. But no, JoJo was great, and she's clearly really, really in a good place, and she's really excited for the year, really.
We love that. Right, I'm excited to hear what you're binning and binging this week. Emily, kick us off. What are you binning?
So I am going to bin. So Kylie Jenner, over the weekend, she revealed that she was turning 28 and how it was this big thing. You know, I'm getting old. You know, this is the last Friday of me being 27. I'm the same age as Kylie Jenner. I would not associate myself with being old by any means.
No.
So I feel like we just need to bin, you know, late 20s being old. It's really not.
Oh, Kylie.
Not poor Kylie.
Not
at
poor
all.
Kylie. No,
Not poor Kylie.
No, I was being sarcastic.
People are dying, Kim.
I'm 40.
People are dying.
Actual age, not your... No, actual shoe size, not your age. And what are you binging?
So we've all seen the pictures of Cristiano Ronaldo's ring for his fiancée, Georgina, which is, how does that girl lift her hand off a table? I mean, it is absolutely huge. Reports saying how it's, 7.5 million, this ring. And what I'm also loving now on the TikTok, people are sort of doing their fake ones and they're putting like a lump of tinfoil on their hand and being like, got myself one too. But I mean, amazing. If you've got that kind of money, spend it on a diamond that size.
Yeah, I mean, we can only dream.
We can only dream.
Exactly. I've currently got one, my little ring, one missing. So good luck to you if you lose one of yours, Georgina. My humble Hatton Garden situation. Jack, what are you binning?
Kanye's attempt at a comeback with this new documentary.
Oh.
Like,
what's this then? I've missed this.
I'll be honest with you. Like, so he's had the camera crew with him for a bit. Obviously, Kanye's got a lot of issues, to say the least. He had a camera crew with him for a long time, and earlier this week he posted about this new show that's coming. I presume I think it's a one-off special. To be honest with you, I saw a few seconds, turned it off because I don't want to give it like the view. I don't know when the view stops for like to count towards YouTube and stuff, but like we don't want it, Kanye. Like, just go away. Like, in it, like Kim's crying in it. Obviously, I'm not a fan of cancel culture. I think people have got too soft. Kanye, no, just like bin. In the bin.
Fair.
In the bin.
Binging? Demi
Lovato. Ooh. In general, I guess. But no, well, she looks incredible, first of all. Like, absolutely. New music. So, Fast was the lead single from her new album, which Bizarre Colin revealed is coming in October. Though, unlucky timing, really, because Taylor's dropping a few days before you.
What, no pop star wants?
It's not what no pop star wants at all. But, like, the album, again, a bit like Taylor, she's gone back to her pop roots. I think Demi's had,
can she ever have
issues.
Can she ever have a song as good as Heart Attack though?
I reckon she can. I mean, there's a lot of bangers, even some album tracks.
Oh, Confident, that's a good one too.
Confidence, good. Call for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she's
Love
great.
that.
And there's a new song on the album, Kiss, 10 out of 10.
Oh, top tip.
Exciting.
I am doing a bit of a dating show binge special. Surprise, surprise.
Love a
to
dating
Love a
everyone.
show.
dating show. Yeah.
I know. I'm binning Love is Blind UK. Series 2 dropped yesterday. And I feel like this isn't the people in it, it's the producers, in that they just are producing way too hard. So there's this girl called Sophie who they're obviously setting up to have a bit of a journey. She comes across as this awful, narcissistic, spoilt brat. And then they're obviously going to show she has layers and why she is the way she is. But they've gone so hard on the narcissistic brat. It's just constant clips of her like this, worrying about what to wear. Oh, do you think this is a good angle for the cameras? Like, they've gone so hard on it on this first episode. This poor girl is being absolutely slated online. And I think that, yes, there's a journey and there's telling that story and creating a TV program. We all know reality TV isn't really that real. But I think that they should have dialed back on the production on this because it's just become so contrived. And I used to love Love is Blind because it felt like one of the more authentic dating shows. But they've lent into it way too hard, and the whole thing comes across as very fake this year, which is sad.
shame.
I know. Binging, however, Celebs Go Dating.
Fun.
For sort of the opposite of that, Kerry Katona on Celebs Go Dating is absolute comedy gold. Now, I've said to Kerry before, like, you should do stand-up. And she's like, well, I sort of do when I go and do Pride and I do my tours and that kind of thing. It's stand-up, basically. She's so funny on Celebs Go Dating. The relationship between her and Christine McGuinness and Liv Hawkins just comes across really sweet. And for a show that, you know, it's been running a long time, maybe got a bit tired in recent series, so back. It's such a good series this year. So that's my binge combo for this week.
Fair play.
Fun.
So that's your Showbiz Fix for the week, and you can get a whole lot more telly and entertainment tidbits if you subscribe here at Sun Showbiz on YouTube, and you can hear us in your ears wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week.